when you downloaded the solid modeling tool file, what you will see this interface. You need to click on your layers. Right? There are some exercises inside here. Before we go through the exercises inside here, I want you to get used to the four views. Let's say, for example, now you are perspective view. You want to get your four views. What you can do, you can right click. You can get your four views. Okay. Scroll button to zoom. Right button to pan. It's the same thing all here. All right. Scroll button to zoom. Okay. Right mouse button to rotate. Right mouse and shift to pan. Get used to it first, yeah. I'm going to go through with you some other tools before I even touch. Some of you were asking, "Phil, how do I get another layer?" So you just right click, new layer will be here. Let's say, for example, I call it new. This new layer, let's say, for example, if I were to build a cube, this object will take, okay, let me just off that. This object, right, will take the color of whatever you put here. Let's say, for example, now it's black. If I want to change it to purple, it's also possible. But right now it's not changing, right? Because it's under default. You must select, right click here, change object layer. Can you see it change? Alright. It would, this purple will not come out in your rendering. It will just be seen as the layer file. Okay. So let's say, for example, I open another new file, then I call it new orange. And then let's try another cylinder now. Okay. Just bring it up. Now it's black, right? Because why? It's still under default. Select, change object layer, change to orange. Can you see it change? Okay, so that's how you work with layers. How do you hide? You can always switch off, switch on. Another button is to control H. Alright, control alternate H also to unhide. Do practice that before we even go inside. Okay. The next one, how do you get your snap button here? It's here. Make sure you get your snap button. Snap button, rule of thumb, normally I will work with end, near, mid, center, and intersection. Okay. I'm going to show you some other tools. Let's say, for example, you are working with a line tool, such as this, right? Make sure you are not inside grid snap, because once you are grid snap, can you see? It's now snapping to the points instead of where I want to. So end up it become like that. Instead of, let's say, for example, I want something here. Can you see the difference? Okay, go try that tool, grid snap. Once you try it, right? Okay, let's delete this. I'm going to show you the orthographic tool. Same, let's use the line tool. The orthographic snap here, right, will snap it 90 degrees. Okay, if you want it 45 degrees, you must, if you want to unsnap it, you must press shift. Then you can check wherever you want. Okay, can you see? Once done, press enter. Okay, try that button too. Once done, delete. Get very familiar with all the buttons. Let's switch off this. The next one I want to share with you is planner. Make sure your planner is always on. Because if your planner is not on, you can notice here, right? When I click anywhere at the top view, it will be on a flat plane. Can you see where the mouse button is going on my front and on my right? However, let's say, for example, if my planner is off, right? When I draw a line here, it would directly snap to floor. Can you see? it doesn't give me a straight line. However, let's say for example my planner is on. I draw another line at this side, okay, somewhere here. Notice the difference here, right? One of the planner will give you a straight, nice flat line. However, the other one will give you something snap to the floor. Can you see the difference? Okay, make sure when you are working, have your planner on snap on. Okay, try those buttons first. Once you are familiar, delete. Again, we are going to go through the next recap. Smart tool, I don't really use, so let's switch off. I'm going to share with you gumball next. Okay, the gumball, right? Sorry, let me just solve this first. Okay, we go through move by dragging. We go through move by clicking M. Where do we want to? Let's say I want to move 50. I can move it like that. Okay, gumball condense moving, scaling into one. To have gumball, right, you must switch on gumball. So once gumball is on, let's say for example we take this cube, they will give this so-called tool here. Okay, arrow is basically moving. Where do I want to move? Up, down, left, right. Okay, so this tool will be helpful. Once you get to know move tool, you can straight use this once you are familiarized. Okay, so let's say for example this tool here, right? This tool here will show you where is it moving to. Okay, let me just switch again. So let's say for example the green is here, I will move here. Right? The red is here, I will move here. Right? Quite simple, right? It works the same way here, it works the same way here. What if I want to move 50? I can just click here, I move 50 directly. Do you see that? Let me repeat. Let's say I want to move here, 50, press 50, it will move directly. Okay, this button here, right, will reset your locale. Alright, let's say for example the center of the gumball you do not want to be at the center of the cube, you want to be at the edge. You can reset it. Okay, but I do not recommend resetting this. Reason being, it works well with the factory reset. Okay, so that will help to move. Then I will cover rotate. Let's say for example you want to rotate left and right. Just click here. Let's say let me undo. Select again. I can just select and then drag. Undo again. Let me just show you if I want a measurement. Look at the arrow. Where is it pointing to? Right now is anti-clockwise. I want 30. It will go anti-clockwise. Okay. It works the same way here also. Dragging or inputting numbers. Let's say for example here I want to rotate. Look at the arrow again. It's now anti-clockwise. Okay. So I cover move, I cover rotate with measurement. So what does the blue, green, red button does? Let's say for example, if you look at here, a red button here, right, will scale it. Alright. So let's say for example, right now at this plane, when I pull, it will scale it one dimension. Let's say for example, I want to scale it. Let me just show you what happened here. Okay, it will scale it like that. Undo. It will scale it one dimension too. What happened? Let's say if I want to rotate two dimension, okay, I need to press shift. Can you see the difference? Okay. You need to press shift in order for it to scale proportionately, I would say. All right. So try those few buttons. Okay. Let's say for example you want to scale it one dimension, no proportion. All right. So I have covered new how to create new layers. Again, a reminder of this, how to use this. The next one, notice some of you, right? You might have rotate your top view. Okay? Accidentally rotated. How do you reset? You can just do a right click here. Notice now it's all back to normal. If you can't see, right, you can so-called right click on this small little button here. See where is it. Let's say for example you want a 4 view. Okay, a right click will give you 4 view. Okay, hold on. Yeah, a left click will give you the 4 default viewport. Alright, you want a default, you go right click. Okay. It's quite simple as that. Get used to the button first. So once that's done, delete all this. All this new orange, delete also. How do you delete? You can just click delete if you work for your keyboard. If not, just delete layer. We are going to start with the solid modeling. Switch on your extrude. Okay, let us open it. Double click perspective. You learn how to plot, and then now we are going to plot. Imagine you have plot these several curves. How do you make it a solid so that in the end you can use it? So let's say for example we take these two. I want to extrude out. Always remember there's a surface, there's a solid. I want a solid, right? So go to solid, go to extrude planar curve, straight. Notice it's now going straight. Make sure your solid is yes, alright? So I can just pull something like that. Okay, let me just find the extrude button. Okay. You can pull this icon out. You will get this. Okay, extrude straight is here. Once you have this button here, right, you can extrude. It works the same way. So let's say for example I click again. Now it's extruding, right? However, this thing and the other one is slightly different because in a reason this is surface. Alright? Surface and solid different. Surface do not have volume. That's just to show you where the tool is. Okay, let me find. Oops, hold on here. Okay, this is the solid creation. Okay, pull this out. Okay, this is the extrude solid. Okay, let me pull this out also so that you can see. Can you see it's two similar solid, however one is extrude surface, the other one is extrude solid. Do not be confused. If you cannot find, I still recommend go to the top bar here, go to solid, extrude planar curve, straight. So let's try again. Let's say for example you want this to press enter, you want 10. Press 10. So right now when you press 10, you don't have a clean extrude. Notice there are 3 extrusion inside here. Select, delete, select, delete. Okay, there's something going on inside here. Meaning, let's say for example, your drawing, right, it's not clean. Select and check. Oh, okay, there's 2 curves here. Select, delete, double check again. So right now, you can go to your solid extrude planar curve. Alright. For practice, I'm just going to show you where the tool are. Okay. Let's say for example, you have this, right? You can also use this extrude straight. Oops, sorry. This button works more with a surface, you can see here. I don't really recommend. You just go to solid, you need to extrude planar curve instead, which is here, straight. Let's just use that first. Yeah. The other tools works well when we touch surface modeling. Okay, go to 10, enter. Alright, so the next one, we need to extrude along a curve. Go to solid, extrude planar curve along a curve here. So they will ask you the curve to extrude, which is these two. Press enter when done. Select the path curve near start. Near start meaning somewhere here. Let's say for example you click here, right? it will go the other way around because it's too far for it to register. So repeat again, select the curve to extrude, press done. Then you select the path curve near start, which is here. And it will give you a nice solid. Alright, the next one is tapered. Go to solid again. Extrude planar curve. Let's go tapered. Now we take this item, press enter. Can you see the tapering? It start to taper up. Alright. So the tapering angle you can adjust. Let's say for example here I want a much more higher. Notice how sharp it becomes. Right? But you cannot go too far out. Why? If not, the Rhino cannot register, let's say for example, the material here. So I would recommend somewhere along this line. Alright. So the next one, if you have a point, let's say, or an edge, or you want to snap to an end, how does it work? The same way, let's say for example, go to solid, extrude planar curve to point. Select curve to extrude, selecting, press enter. So now they are asking you which point. That's the point here, but it cannot snap. So you must find where is your point, which is here, snap it. Okay, that's done. Switch off. Okay, so right now we switch off extrude. Okay, notice your items are all still there. Select all these things, right click, change object layer. So they'll be at the extrusion. Then now let's switch on boolean. Let's say for example you have several items built. Now what's next? Okay, you can start to manipulate the item. Boolean, where can you find the boolean? Boolean is here. Pull it out. It's quite self-explanatory. Let's say for example these two balls, it will unite. This one will different. This one will intersect. This one will split. Okay, we are going to cover Boolean's tools here. Alright. So let's say for example you union. Let's say for example the cube to the sphere. Read here. Right. Sorry. If you select the sphere, the cube to the sphere, it will unite to the cube. Let's say for example you union again. Now the sphere to the cube. Notice it's different, right? So the way that you work on a Boolean union, you must have a plan in mind first. Which one should start first? What do you want in mind? Okay. So let's go for difference. It works the same way for all. Right? So let's work on the cube to sphere first. Difference of this. Okay, select blah 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 to subtract from. Okay, press enter. Yes. Then now to subtract with. Delete input must be yes. Like this. Enter. Notice now it will cut. You can undo, try with the blue instead the sphere. So let's say now we go intersect. They will ask you for the first set of surfaces of polysurface, which is this. Press enter. Second set, which is this, and then press enter. So notice it intersect. It will give you the intersection part. Okay, the next one, Boolean split. Again, it will just tell you it will split the object. You can select all, press enter. Cutting surfaces, you can select either or. That's why we have already selected both to register. So now I can technically just pull out every single thing. Can you see? Because why? It will split the. Okay, let me just undo and then show you again. Okay. Let me split again. Okay, let's say for example, I want to split the cube. I press this, select, enter. I cut with my sphere, press enter. So this will be my cutting object, and then I will get a split here. Easy as that. Alright. Let's switch this off. Now we need to try fillet. Okay, fillet is slightly much more in depth. Okay. Before we cover this, right, we go inside here instead. Remember your perfect cubes. Now let's say for example you have a cube. You want a fillet edge. Again, where do you go for fillet? Okay, you can click here. It looks more of this, right? Round curve, sharp, sharp. You want this instead. Select edge to fillet. Make sure it's at 10. Okay, when you press an edge, enter. Notice it will start to fillet. And let's say for example we want to fillet these few edges. What we need to do is to select the edges to fillet, which is the side here and the top, and it will give us that fillet. Try different edges, yeah, to see what variables it gives. Okay, right now let's say for example we want to do chamfer, which is on this side here. You press the chamfer. I want a chamfer 5 input. Okay, now it says 5. Which edge is this? This is this. Press enter. It will cut. Alright. Let's say for example I want a variable so-called chamfer of 2 dimensions. Yeah. I can press enter again. Okay. Let's say for example now when it registers 5, press enter. Right. Always read here. So now 5 5. I need a 15, right? I need to go up here, find my add handle, select a new chamfer handle location. Mine was at the center here. Copy. Okay. Press enter. So let's say for example, right now, do you want to leave it like that? No, right? You need to adjust. So how do you adjust? You go near to it to the handle, pull it. You can see now it changes, right? But I want a 15. What I can do is to select, let's say for example here. Hold on, yeah. Oops. Let me just show you. 5. Alright, add handle. Notice just now, right, when we drag, it's a little bit hard to put the additional handle. So what I would do, right, I would just key in the dimension that I want. Let's say for example 15. Then it's much easier for me to work. Okay, so now I got 5, 15, 5. You can straight away press enter. So right now they ask you whether you want to enter again when you are done. You want to change anything? If it's not, you can just press enter. Again, let me just show you. Select edges to chamfer, right? For the first set, you must be at 5. Because why? You need all the edges here. So once you click, and then let's say for example, you press enter when done, it will start to register where is the edges. So now it's 5, 5. I need to add another one more 15, right? So I add a handle. Go to the top here again, add handle. As I mentioned, you can pull, but it's slightly difficult. Yeah? For me, my rule of thumb, I would know what my dimensions are before I work. Okay, so let's say for example now, I know I want to input 15. I just add 15, drop it there. So once done, I will press enter. Okay, that will escape from the add handle. Then now at the final one, they will ask you whether do you want to read here, whether you want to edit any of the handle here. Do you want to pull again or not? If you don't want to pull, just press enter and then they will give you. Right? Let's say for example now, the last few exercise, what you are going to do. Let's say for example, I have this shape. I have boolean. Sorry, I have extrude out. How do I get the 5 and the 15 here? Go back to the solid again. Wait, oops. I can go here. I can drop here. Let's say for example, I want a fillet. It's a 5, right? So let's say for example, drop a 5. Can drop, right? Let's just press enter. Once you press enter, they will ask you whether you want to edit the handles or not. It's the same thing as just now. Alright, so right now it's registering 5555, but I need another 15 here. What do? Go to the top here, add handle, the same thing, input 15, because I know I want a 15. Find my end intersection, drop it, press enter. Because why? I want to escape from my new handle location. So right now they're asking you whether you want to edit any of the handle. Not really, right? So just press enter when done, and then you get it. Let's go back to here, the last one. Okay, notice it's chamfer 5, chamfer 10. What do? Go to your chamfer tool, which is this. Okay, it's 5, right? So input 5 first. Supposed to be the edges here. Right? Drop it, drop it, drop it, enter. Okay, so let's say for example now it's at 5, we want a 10 here. What can we do here? Okay, you can pinch in that manner, meaning let's say for example I want a 10. Okay, find my handle, rotate first, right? So right now it's 5 5, I want a 10. See here 10, right? I can click at the handle that I want to adjust. Okay, right now they are dragging, right? But I want it to stop at 10. Let's press 10. You do it for the same for the edges here. Press, drop it 10, press, drop 10. So once you have every single thing, do you want to edit anymore? No. Press enter. Alright, you are done with this. Okay. So for today exercise, once you've done that, I have a technical drawing. Okay. So this is my end object, how it looks like. It's basically a curve here, where then I extrude up. I use the object to boolean out, okay, boolean different out, okay, remember? And then I chamfer the edges here, I fillet the edge here, and fillet here. Alright, so use the time later to complete this exercise. The line works are all here. Alright, so to get you started, I will give you some tips. Alright, let's say for example, what is the height of this blue thing? It's 50, right? I can take this. Where is my extrude? Solid, extrude, straight. Go 50. So right now I have a 50. Alright. So let's say for example, how much do I cut here? It's a 30. Right? If I go my solid, extrude curve, straight, 30. Can I use this to start to cut already? Possible, right? Then it's the same thing. I got my extrusion. Okay, let's say for example I want to extrude both sides. I can also click this. Yeah, it will extrude both sides. So right now with this set of tool extruded, can I start to cut out the shape? And then I put the treatment on chamfer and fillet. Right? Okay, I won't show you all the tools. I want you to try out the items. Alright. So once done, save. Make sure